Okay, so I just got the key. Had a nice conversation with the listing agent, which I will have in the description, etc. This is 1908 Harrison Street, I believe. I think it's west, but it could be east. Anyway, it's been on the market for a minute. You can see why in some ways, but look at this foundation. It's a nice concrete poured foundation. Yeah, there's a little crack there, a little crack there. That's not a concern. So, in case you didn't know, little cracks, not generally a big deal. There's lots of little cracks. That's different. It's good that they killed that because that can be problematic. That's unfortunate. But, stuff is fixable. That's what I keep saying. Stuff is fixable. The siding is actually not terrible. I don't know if you can get this color. Look, there's a little storage area back here. You always got to be careful when you're... Because sometimes people like to hang out. Yeah, some graffiti and paint and trash. Let's see. Yep, somebody's a aspiring artist there. We'll just see if this... Oh yeah, that doesn't close. So that would need to be fixed if you're going to keep that. Not a bad little yard. It's a very small yard. Basically, no backyard. Like I said, there's some warping up there at the top of the... I don't know if you can see that or not. At the top of the siding, that could be an indication of an issue. That little pipe there's odd. All this stuff is just clean it up, replace. Okay, I can definitely see why this would have not sold. This is probably the smallest lot I've ever seen. You've got right up there where something grew in, so that needs to be fixed. Let's see if I can get back here and see the roof. So, I get the micro lot. The roof looks pretty good. That chimney is a concern. Because, chimneys are always a concern. They tend to leak, eventually. Maybe not initially, but they do eventually leak. So we're going to... I've got the key right here. And so we're going to go in. Let me see if I can do this one-handed. No, I cannot do this one-handed. All right. Here, I'll set you all down here a second and do this because this requires more coordination than I have with one hand. All right. There we go. Like I said, this is uncut. Oh, wow. Indoor vegetation. That's always an interesting one. The floor is solid. Which is not surprising given the other stuff this has going on. The windows were replaced at some point, so they're newer windows. It's got a crack in it right there. You've got one of the original windows there. Of course, the indoor vegetation. You got based on everything, it might work. And you got these here, that's good, but we got rust down there. that could still be in okay condition. It does appear that, no, so a suggestion would be to swap this out and make this an electric, because then you don't have to vent it. And this is where it was vented at, which is up the chimney, and then, the chimney leaks or can leak and give you problems. So then we walk into the kitchen here. Oh, yeah. Now, see, this is where the outside with concrete, you're good. And got this little back room here, which could work as for like a washer and dryer. And that is a very narrow kitchen. Might make sense to do something else here. I don't know. It's hard to say. So you get that. And then we've got newer-ish electrical panel, so that's good. That's where your stove was. Somebody liked blue. Oh, look, there's a washer in the bathroom. I've seen stranger things. Looks like there was a dryer there too. Ooh, I'm not sure what's going on with that toilet, but okay. I don't know. Anyway. And then you've got a shower here. You probably have stairs going up, so there's a limitation on how high you can go up. And you probably can't see it, but I think you can tell if I do this. So, I don't know if you can see that or not, but the floor, it goes down by a bit, which means that right here, I'm a good couple inches, at least an inch and a half below over here. And so that means there was leaks there, and what is needed is for that to be fixed. And that sounds scary, but it's not really that big of a deal. It is a big deal, but it's not that big of a deal. It needs to be fixed, but it's fixable. Like I keep reiterating, most things are fixable. So you've got the stairs here. And so as you can see, the shower is going to be right behind these stairs, which is why you have a limitation on how tall the shower is. And there's probably a better way of rearranging the bathroom so it makes more sense. So the stairs are nice and solid. You have some drywall issues, and it's not real, there's more that good old plaster and lath. And then unevenness here, old carpet. That's why I'm wearing my not nice shoes. Nice little closet. Looks like, I remember they call this beadboard, if I remember correctly. That's pretty nice, actually. The old floor. Hopefully that there, I don't know if you can see that. That's hardwood. Hopefully that is under here and can be refinished and be a nice hardwood floor. Although, given the size of the lot and everything, probably not worth the money that would take to refinish the floors. And then you have another bedroom here. Old windows, so more than likely you're going to replace some, if not all the windows, some of the doors. You got a nice little closet here. So you have 2 bedrooms upstairs. And then you that's kind of weird. See right there? Plug on the wall. You don't usually see that. Here's the indoor vegetation that's coming out of the stairs. Your indoor vegetation is coming out of the stairs. This door has seen better days. So let's talk about what you would do in this. So you got to fix or replace. Oh yeah, you can see here this window, the inside pane of this window has been broken. So you would replace some windows, maybe all the windows. You can see, I don't know if you can see that, but you see this side is higher than that side. Yeah. So you'd fix the support for the flooring, because I mean it's kind of the middle of the house. There's a lot of weight there. Also, you've got your chimney, which you'd be surprised how heavy that is. And so you remove that chimney, you patch the roof, because the roof is actually in decent condition. You fix the floors. You clean everything up, place windows, and then upstairs, the 2 bedrooms, other than, fixing some drywall and paint and flooring and stuff, they look pretty decent, and windows, obviously. What I would do here is I would go on ahead and I would put the shower over where the toilet is, and I would move the toilet over where the shower is, because it's kind of a little bit odd, but you could still have the toilet there and it's not that big a deal. And then you move and get rid of the window and you put the shower there. The sink could probably stay where it's at, or move over here where the washer is. And so then you've got a better flow here. You can just, right there, you can just barely see that some light. That's probably from the little crawl space access there. So then you're going, okay, well then how do you redo the kitchen? Well, one of the things you can do is here on the back porch, you can probably do like a washer and dryer. I'd probably do, like washer, dryer, because the dryer is always open in the front. You can get a top load washer and put it there. And then I'd probably go ahead and reposition, put new cabinets over on this wall over here. I don't know how well you can see that. Maybe even get rid of that window or shrink that window down and put cabinets on that wall. And then, yeah, I know this is kind of weird that you got this space here, but I mean, you could, potentially, if this wall is not load bearing, you could get rid of this wall and make the bathroom bigger and have room for an actual full tub and more room there, and have a bigger bathroom. You could go on ahead and put like a little, I don't know, you could put the fridge in there. That's probably what I'd do. I'd probably put the fridge in there, or something. I don't know. This house is not, doesn't have the best layout. It's not a terrible layout, but it's not the best layout just because of everything. If this wall here is not load bearing, you could get rid of it. But I'm going to guess this wall is probably load bearing. you just got to think about cost, because if you change up this wall and maybe you move this opening over to make it more usable or something, that costs money, and you got to make sure it's done right. You got permits and all this kind of stuff. Would I buy this place and renovate it and then turn it into a nice little place for somebody to buy as a place to live? No, because most people are not going to want to buy a place that's on a lot that's so small. However, it doesn't mean you couldn't renovate this for not a ton of money and then make it a nice little rental. It's not great, but I mean, it's doable. And I know people are going to say, well, it's a dumpster fire, you should just burn it down or something. I don't know. No. It has potential. It definitely has potential. It's weird, but it has potential. So anyway, that's my take on, what was it? 908, I think it's West Harrison Street. And, if you're interested in it, reach out to me or the listing agent. If you like this kind of stuff, click like and subscribe. Have a good day.